Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. What we have learned today is chilling, to say the very least. 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro was supposed to be the baby missing, but prosecutors are saying the whole story doesn't and never did line up. We're talking about lies, abuse, and a confession that takes this case in a direction that my mind could never have even thought. But here's the part that will truly make your stomach drop. Emmanuel's body still hasn't been found, but they say they have a good indication of where he may be. And if that is true, then where is he? We're going to talk about that. And how in the world did the system fail little baby Emmanuel? We're going to dig into all of that, the press conference, things about jailhouse confessions, and about Jake taking them on a wild goose chase, the police. We're going to talk about all of that on the other side of this.
No fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten them pearls, dropping cold facts. Got the truth for the world, no smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch.
Hello, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is August 27th, 2025. It is currently 5:25 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, hello, hello. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Um, the press conference was earlier. I was trying my damnedest to make the press conference, but I had to work. So I apologize for that. But we're going to get to it now. I've been following it all day long, getting all the receipts and deleted tweets and all of that. We're getting it. So this is really disturbing. Did anybody get uh, a notification? I didn't get a notification, so I wasn't sure. Okay, good to see you all. Guys, do me a favor before we get started. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Would really, really appreciate that very, very much. And share the live out if you don't mind. Hold on one second. Okay, so there has been a jailhouse confession that was again, I think Jake is lying in all of this bullshit. I really do. I think he's completely lying through his ass. He's saying that he allegedly rolled over and Emmanuel died. I think it's complete bullshit. Okay, good, good. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So without further ado, we're going to get to the press conference, but first I want to show you Brian Enton. He dropped this video very early this morning, and let me tell you something. It's bad. Bad, 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 bad. And make sure you're subbed up to Brian Enton. He's with News Nation. Best of the best reporting, in my opinion. Brian does an amazing job. Link is provided in the description and all of that. So, 2 seconds. There we go. So I just want to give a little bit of a trigger warning out because I sobbed when I heard this morning. I don't, you know these things, but when you hear these things, Brian Enton even went to Ben Hill. Yeah, he does. He gets in the weeds. He sure does. He gets in the weeds, and that's what it takes. That's what it takes. So if you have not heard this, prepare. It's a lot. It's a lot. God, I dread it hearing it again, to be honest with you. But here we go. It's a lot. Make sure sub to Brian. Link is provided in the description for the replay and in chat for you guys. Okay, let's get started.
This information. This is part of what I'm told is called a Perkins operation. A Perkins operation, which is when police use a fake inmate to try to get information out of someone who has been arrested and who is inside the jail. This Perkins operation came after, I'm told, Jake Haro confessed to police that he rolled over in bed and killed the baby by accident and then buried the baby. So that is what Jake Haro.
There was no accident, in my opinion. No accident, in my opinion, whatsoever. Whatsoever. This is a man that should have been put away fucking years ago. Years ago. Right? So, well, that was the Jack says there is no confession per law enforcement. So that was the question, right? Because why was Jake out there? Right? Because I've said this since the beginning. Nobody is going to go out there. I mean, like, Jake wasn't. They're not going to make you go out there. You have to say, yeah, I'll go out there with you. So I think there had to be some sort of something, right? So there is, from the press conference to this, there is some difference, we'll say, right?
Told police, which is why he took police to that spot out along the freeway. This video that we have that shows him out there searching. That story, I'm told police believe, was all made up. First, they got that story. Then they decided to do the Perkins operation, I'm told, which is when they used the fake inmate and when they say they got the information that Jake Haro actually.
Oh, I need to thank you so much, Margarita, by the way. That's so sweet of you. Good afternoon. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Hopefully you are well, Miss Margarita. Thank you so much for your support. Yes, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. Would really appreciate that.
Killed baby Emmanuel and put baby Emmanuel into a trash can. Meanwhile, baby Emmanuel's mother I'm told, is still sticking to the same story. They also did a Perkins operation with her and Jake.
So a Perkins operation is just really a, a police officer undercover or an informant that's working for the police, right? It's what California calls the Perkins operation. And old girl Rebecca, she's still sticking with her story. And like I said yesterday, if I were you, I would be thinking of something else. I mean, I don't know how you're going to pivot. I really don't know how you're going to pivot after that. I think you're just fucked, to be quite honest with you. But there's that. Official said that did not happen. This was all bad misinformation. Really? Tracy, thank you so much, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Thank you so much. Let's listen. We'll listen to the press conference first, and then we'll go to this. We'll see. We'll see. Now, also, just because law enforcement may say something doesn't mean it's true either. You know, they can lie to the public. I'm not saying they are, but they can. They can lie to the public. All right, here is thy press conference.
I'm the Riverside County District Attorney. Welcome. I want to do a couple of things today. First thing I want to do is introduce the individuals that are here on stage with me. First off, to my far left, we have Riverside County Sheriff Chad Bianco. We have San Bernardino County Sheriff Sergeant Nicholas Clark. We have San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykes.
Yep.
We have Assistant District Attorney Brandon Smith.
I know that they can say things that they don't want out, and they can say things before, because I know things in Sebastian's case that they were like, oh, that they just didn't want out. So there's that.
And then myself.
I'm not saying that's happening.
Someone who's not here, I want to thank as well, or introduce as well, Jason Anderson, San Bernardino County District Attorney. I want to start by thanking these gentlemen up here. I want to thank the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office for their professionalism and their cooperation and the great work that they've done here so far. I want to thank Jason Anderson and the San Bernardino DA's office. His Bureau of Investigation has recently formed a high-tech crimes unit. They were instrumental in helping us with this investigation. Let me tell you how things are going to go today. There's going to be several individuals that make statements up here, and then when we're all done with the short statements, I will come back up and we will have a question and answer. I will take questions. I will take all of your questions till there are no more questions. Having said that, there's a lot that we can't say, that I can't say, that nobody up here can say. And the reason is that the defendants in this case have been charged with crimes, serious crimes. And so now they have a presumption of innocence that applies to them. They're innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I'm not allowed to prove my case in the court of public opinion. And so there's a lot that we can't say in terms of the facts and the evidence. For that, you will have to come to the court and to the various hearings and see how the case plays out. However, having said that, it's appropriate to have a press conference because it was the defendants in this case that had a press conference first. And they did so in order to tell the public, the media, and ultimately law enforcement that their child had been kidnapped, when in fact that's not what occurred. And so we're here to clear up some misconceptions and to explain how this case unfolded in terms of the investigation. It involves two counties working very well together. I know everybody up here on this stage, we work well together normally, but in this case, I'm very proud of the work that was done by Riverside County Sheriff, San Bernardino County Sheriff, my office, and also the District Attorney's Office in San Bernardino County. All right, so we'll go ahead and kick this off. I'm going to bring up first San Bernardino County Sheriff Shannon Dykes.
Thank you, Mike. To Mike's point, I want to thank all of you in the media for covering this, specifically the parents' initial statements to the public while we were trying to find Emmanuel. They became critical as we continued through this investigation. But I want to talk about a little bit about the process, because we've seen a number of questions related to Amber Alerts and things like that. So I hope when I finish this that everybody understand kind of the course of the investigation. But the investigation started for us on August 14th when Rebecca Haro reported that her son had been kidnapped. Folks, within 24 hours through video surveillance, we found inconsistencies in Rebecca's statement. And as a result of that, there was no other vehicle to put out on an Amber Alert or anything. And I know many of you were wondering why that didn't occur. But really, after finding out those inconsistencies in the statement on the initial report, that's where hundreds of hours of investigations have come in by our specialized investigations division to try to get to the bottom of what's really going on here. And when I say hundreds of hours, I'm talking about forensic data on vehicles, phones, and potential crime scenes, judicial authorized search warrants that were served. And through that process, that's where we learned that the jurisdiction of where this has occurred was in Riverside County. So hence the Riverside County DA and Riverside County Sheriff's Department, which I can't stress enough. We've had a long-term partnership. We work well together and we know how to get things done in these environments. But that's why the jurisdiction had changed from the original jurisdiction that was reported in, which is Yucaipa, California. But as we went through that portion of the investigation and realized that these things had happened in Riverside County, you saw the culmination of all the different entities get involved. And going back to what Mike mentioned about the DA's office in San Bernardino County and high-tech crimes, forensically, there are a number of things that we were able to prove up that we're not going to be able to share today exactly how we did that, but there is a tremendous amount.
I think they have more than enough, right? I think they have more than enough
of evidence to suggest that the initial story posed was not the correct story. So in that partnership with our agencies, I'm going to introduce my partner, Chad Bianco, where this crossover occurred at Riverside, and we reached out to Mike, who's obviously filing the case, and of course, Chad, to assist us in the investigation. Chad?
I know California gets a lot of crap a lot of times, but I think the law enforcement has done a phenomenal job on this case, and they've really worked it really hard.
Thank you. Like Sheriff Dykes, I just want to thank all of you for, especially the normal mainstream media, for your attention to this and for your cooperation.
What about us unnormal mainstream media, sir? Normal mainstream media? People don't trust a lot of the normal mainstream media.
In this, as we were assisting San Bernardino in this investigation, trying to originally find a missing baby, but then eventually quickly learning that that investigation was not something that it started as. Not so much for social media and keyboard warriors who, quite honestly, sometimes hamper and prevent us from
What? Listen. Oh my God. Oh my God.
From a good investigation. I do want to expand a little bit about.
I was just bragging on their asses.
Our relationship with San Bernardino. A lot from the media, a lot of questions have been raised about jurisdiction. And what Sheriff Dykes and I routinely talk about to our own communities isn't really necessarily displayed in the media or said to the media, but neither one of us care about jurisdiction. Our belief is that the Inland Empire is better served when we are cooperating and working together. And in this investigation from the very beginning, it was obvious that it could involve both counties. When something like that happens, particularly in this case.
I mean, you're right. I mean, I understand. There's a lot of crazy people do some crazy things. You know what I mean? And it makes, like, every creator makes mistakes. We're going to make mistakes, every single one of us. And that goes for the media, that goes for the police, that goes for humanity. But there are some out there that just really don't care. They just do anything and everything for a view, not really caring.
The original investigation began with Sheriff Dicus, and if he chooses to take it to the end, he will, which obviously he did. And my position is Sheriff Dicus is responsible for this and the assistance of my department. So there is no asking us, there is no anything like that. It is, we have to serve our public best, and he has every single available resource that the Riverside County Sheriff's Office has to offer to make sure that we
well, I mean, this is the thing. There is this is a very big learning curve for all of us, because technology is moving at such a fast speed that this is what I do, and I can't keep up with a lot of it, right? And now more people get their news from social media than they do the actual news, right? And so a lot of times mainstream media doesn't like that, because I mean, truly, more people watch us than they do really them most every day for news, right? And so there's kind of like a little tug of war. It's a frenemy kind of thing.
Provide justice in this case. This is an extensive investigation with both agencies that ultimately is headed by the supervisor of the Detective Bureau from the Sheriff's Office in San Bernardino. But the cooperation, as you can see, between the both counties is what is going to bring this to a successful conclusion. There is absolutely nothing, no crime more important than the injury of a human being, particularly a child. And the amount of resources that were expended to find this baby and to ultimately bring the people to justice responsible for the loss of this baby, I can't even tell you the amount of resources that were expended in this. It is a massive investigation that will obviously be ongoing, and we appreciate your efforts. This involves a lot of things, though, from us, and hopefully there are more questions to be answered, but I'll end it by saying this before we get into more questions specifically about this case. This was preventable in numerous ways. The amount of response we have had from the public.
And listen, I know Chris, and Chris is the best of the best, in my opinion. Him and Karen, his wife, she was a reporter. They lived in California for a time. And if Chris says they got it, I believe they got it. Right? And I also believed that they got it once they said that the charges were going to stick. So I believe, they're fucked finally.
Enormous anger that a child was not only originally thought to be kidnapped, but then presumably murdered, kind of warms my heart a little bit. That there is compassion still out there. There is care about other people. There is, people actually do care about other people. There is absolutely nothing worse than harming a baby. Broken bones, injuries, life-altering trauma. And had that case been successfully handled how it should have been, Emmanuel would still be with us today. So I thank you all for taking the time and the effort to make sure that the world sees this investigation, and we will successfully bring it to conclusion with the help of both DA's offices.
Thank you, Sheriff. I neglected to mention that Sergeant Nicholas Clark is the lead investigator on this case. So even though he's San Bernardino County, he will be functioning
So many
as the
fall
lead
through the
investigator on
cracks.
this case,
So many.
which is ongoing. The investigation is ongoing, even though we have filed charges. And then Brandon Smith is going to be the lead prosecutor on the case, obviously Riverside County prosecutor. And with that, obviously, you all know, yesterday in court, we filed murder charges on both Jake and Rebecca Haro. We also filed filing of a false police report. And with that, I will take questions. I know you're going to have a lot of questions. I do want to lay some ground rules. The way we do it here is don't shout at me, no chaos, just raise your hand. I ask you to ask me one question at a time. I'll do my best to call on everybody. When we've gotten through everyone who has a question, then we can go back and ask more follow-ups, okay? So I'll start here on the front row. Yes, ma'am.
My question is, first of all, do you have any idea where baby Emmanuel is at this point?
You know, yes, we have a pretty strong indication of where the remains of baby Emmanuel are. So that investigation is ongoing at this time. Yes, go ahead.
Matt Johnson, Court TV. What was the information?
He's got his hair greased, don't he?
Search off the 6 feet in Moreno Valley.
Sheriff, you want to take that?
I'm not going to go into grave detail about that, but there is some level of cooperation with the suspects involved in this, and we're trying to locate that. And our job is to follow every lead. Before the record,
what? Hold on.
I'm not going to go into grave detail about that, but there is some level of cooperation with the
There is some level of cooperation.
suspects involved in this, and we're trying to locate that. And our job is to follow every lead. Before the rest of the room here, we have to understand what you're dealing with is an experienced child abuser that is aware of a previous case, that is aware of evidentiary things that we are certainly concerned with. So we're going to take every step to not only work with any suspect or witness involved in this, because at the end of the day,
That's what we believe. Yes, sir.
Eddie with Action Eye News. I noticed on the arrest record that you have Jake Rebecca as murder with malice, and also another murder charge as well. Is there a second murderer?
We charged both Jake and Rebecca with murder.
You're here, tangled cords.
Who's next? Yeah, go ahead, Rob.
This is in reference to what Matt was talking about, but can you go into some detail about that case in 2023 and what happened there?
Sure.
From my understanding,
Yes, I will. So in 2018, Jake Haro with his ex-wife, there's another child who they were prosecuted for child abuse as well, child neglect, cruelty. That child was also an infant. And
Listen, I don't think anybody, if you get child neglect or abuse, you should not ever only spend 1 day in jail and 180 days on work release. That is a failure of gross proportion, if you ask me. Right? I mean, look at the harm that this bastard has done. And he went on to have more children, and now the kid is dead. Now the kid is dead. Why do people go to jail for 20 years for drugs? But you fuck up children's lives every day and you just walk. How is that possible? Like, there has to be a registry for these violent offenders, period. We talked about it, Law Junkie. I showed the judge the other day here. I did. Sure did. Unbelievable, man.
that came to the courts, arrested in 2018. It came in to the courts in 2023. We had charged various felony crimes, child abuse, child cruelty, And our indication, or our what we wanted out of the case, was prison. We believed it was a prison case, and that Jake Haro should have gone to prison.
Damn right he
Jake
should.
Haro pled straight up to the court, which sometimes
Damn
reporters
right he
get
should.
this wrong, and you call it a plea bargain. Judges are not allowed to plea bargain. Defendants can plea bargain with the prosecutor, but when a defendant pleads up to the court, they plead to everything that they've been charged with, and they're essentially throwing themselves on the mercy of the court. In this case, a judge here in Riverside County, happened to have been a visiting judge from San Bernardino County, gave Mr. Haro a suspended sentence, which means, if I can translate for you what that is, it means that instead of sending him to prison, he chose to give him probation.
Why? I tell you what, I just want to get up off my chair right now and fucking wail, to be honest, when I hear this. This fuck. Who in their right mind? Judges are supposed to think about the aggravating factors, the things, the amount of harm that they did, that they caused to the victim. And I mean, did they not see a picture of this child? Did they not look at the doctor records? Did they not do any of this shit? How can you do that? How do you just, we'll let him stay out. We'll let him stay out. Let him make more children so they can, suffer, and, make more children so that they can, be lost and be tortured and all of that. What is wrong with these people? I mean, I question the mind of this judge. And I hope someone looks at, I wonder what kind of other cases this judge has ruled on. I just cannot.
And suspend prison time sort of over his head, meaning that if he violated his probation, he would then go to prison.
Oh,
my prosecutor
okay.
in the
So again, this is it. So you fuck up these children's lives, but if you do it again, we're going to put you in jail, right? Oh, okay. So we're going to give you another chance. We're going to give you another chance so you can, we'll see if you harm another child again. No, that is not good enough. Oh my God, I can't, y'all.
courtroom objected to that and said on the record, we object. We think it's a prison case. You should send him to prison. And the judge decided, as is the judge's right to do in that case, he decided that
none of them get another chance. I see you. You know what I mean? These kids, the harm that he has done to all of these kids and the mother is irreversible. When you have 3% of your brain functioning, and that is really just to keep you alive, you don't get out of that. You just don't get out of that. That is a life sentence for that baby. Perfectly healthy child until Jake spends 45 minutes with her. He's with her 45 minutes alone. That 45 minutes, now she is fed through a tube for the rest of her life. Her trach has to be suctioned every little bit around the clock. Because if you don't, you die. So he just gets, oh, we're going to suspend your sentence. You're just going to be here a day. Now we're going to put you on work release. But if you fuck up, hurt another child, you're going to prison. Oh, so we can just allow more victims. I have never in my entire life. Ooh.
Mr. Haro deserved an extra break and gave him probation and basically 180 days of work release.
I really think that there should be judges for just child abuse, child neglect. That's what they specialize in. I think there should be judges for just drugs that they specialize in. I think it should be like that personally. But that's just me. Because I think there are so many folders on the desk that the judge just wants to get through it. Hammer, next, hammer, next, hammer. That's it. Beyond. A visiting judge. Visiting judge. You see, they don't get... I mean, this judge has to live with this decision. And I pray to God that this is not in vain. That he or she, I think, will think seriously before allowing someone that harms a child to just go back and, you know, not get just slap on the hand virtually. Thank you, Gia. Like and subscribe, Justin. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you so much for your support. And Maria, thank you, darling. Good to see you. 6 months. Thank you, babies. I appreciate you very, very much, my dear. Good to see you. D3B, the judge should also be charged. I mean, I agree. I really think, you know, there's supposed to be no one above the law. No one above the law, right? And I think if judges act reckless, they should, in my opinion, have consequences,
which ends up being like community service. I will say that it was an outrageous error in judgment by this judge. And I don't have any problem saying that. I'm not attacking the judge personally. That decision was absolutely outrageous.
I agree.
Mr. Haro should have been in prison at the time that this crime happened. And if that judge had done his job as he should have done, Emmanuel would be alive today.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know if Emmanuel would be alive. That maybe he would never. They would have been together, which is fine, right? But I don't know, guys. I really don't know on this one. This one, it really, really upsets me to just rage.
And that's a shame, and it's an outrage. And I hate to say that.
It's all about rehabilitating the offender. These mother Fletchers, they don't give a shit about rehabilitation. A lot of these offenders, some people cannot be rehabilitated because they just don't fucking want to. It's really that simple. If they don't want to be, Grace, she knows. She worked for judges for 30 years. 30 years. Just retired not too long ago. And some of these people don't want to be rehabilitated. Some people can't be rehabilitated if they don't want to be, especially as offenders and these abusers.
But when our criminal justice system breaks down, I'm going to just call it like it is and tell you it broke down. It's not how it's supposed to work. The judge had
No
obviously
politics.
meant well.
No
At the end of
politics.
their sentence, he told Jake, I'm giving you a big break today. Don't mess it up. But I want to point something out to you. I want to read to you the injuries.
They don't get a fucking break. The kids don't get a break.
Um, the child's name is Carolina.
Listen,
She is still alive today, but she is permanently bedridden. She has permanent damage, cerebral palsy, that is a result of long-term child abuse. I want to read to you the injuries that were presented in court to this judge at the time of that previous prosecution. Acute fracture of the posterior left rib, fifth rib, healing fractures of the posterior lateral sixth, seventh, and 10th.
now, this is the thing where I think, because someone just said, if it's your first felony, you're most likely to get probation. But listen to this. This baby had healing fractures, which means this is not the first time that this child has been abused. If they are healing, it means he has done this over and over and over and over. Right? He just didn't get caught that time. And the evidence points, if there's healing fractures and there's no doctor involved, well, then that means you didn't report it. You didn't take the child to the doctor. You didn't have adequate medical care for those ribs, which means you didn't provide the child a doctor. You didn't report. You or the spouse didn't report that someone lost their marbles and broke a 10-week-old's ribs prior. The child's only been alive 10 weeks. How does someone do that?
10th through 12th ribs, healing fractures of the 6th and 9th through 12th ribs, partial bone fracture of the skull, brain hemorrhage, significant prevertebral soft tissue swelling of the neck, and a healing tibia fracture of the right leg. This is severe abuse for an infant. And so whatever you think of the criminal justice system and people need a break, someone who does that to a child belongs in prison, period. Next question.
Good question, Barbie. Good question.
Not to my knowledge, no. Yes.
I mean, look at Harmony Montgomery. That child was put through hell, failed, had a loving home, gave him back to crackheads.
You know, I'm not going to, I can't speculate. What I'll say, I'll repeat what I already said. We believe that Emmanuel was severely abused over a period of time, and that that's the reason for the filing, the way it was, is that he was abused over a period of time. Both parents would have been aware of that abuse. I've already called on you, so I'm going to exhaust. Yes, sir. No, one question, sir. One question. I didn't say that, sir. I didn't say I know where the remains are.
I agree, Jeff.
Well, you should get some rest, sir. You should get some rest. But no, I can't share with you anything. Look, there are professionals that are looking for the remains of this child. If the public has any information, then we ask for their help. So we don't know exactly where the remains are. We have some ideas in terms
No.
of where we're going to look and where we're going to continue to investigate.
I think she's
Yes, sir, all the way in the
a
back.
little better.
No, I'm not going to do that. That's unfortunately, I understand it's an obvious question, but I just can't go into it. Those are
Told
things
one
that
of the reporters to
the
get
evidence
rest.
will be presented in court, and I'll have to wait till we do that. Who's next? Yes, sir.
Can you explain, I know they both have charges found against them, if you believe that Jake or Rebecca both were actively involved in abusing Emmanuel?
Yeah, the press, the questions, they're not mic'd up.
All I can explain is what we have filed. We filed murder
think
charges
it
on
was-
both of them and making a false police report on both of them.
On the Terra.
So you can extrapolate that we believe that both of them are guilty, that we can prove it's guilty beyond a reasonable doubt for both the murder and the filing of the false police report. You know, how it breaks down as to who did what, that also has to wait for the trial.
Is that it? Is that the whole presser? Is that the whole presser? He said that to Ahmed? Okay, let me find the rest of the presser. Hold on, I got the rest of it here. I found it. We'll go to Court TV. Court TV never lets us down. And they got subtitles. 1 second, guys.
Pues ya dije lo que puedo decir. Fue una tragedia increíble y no hubiera sucedido. El juez hizo un gran error y juzgó mal y el sistema se quebró ese día. Jueces, fiscales, defensores, todos tenemos un deber y tenemos que hacer nuestro deber en nuestro trabajo. Todo lo que puedo decir.
Pero básicamente no debió de haberle dado la libertad bajo palabra.
Claro que no. Le dio libertad condicional y esto fue un caso de prisión. Cuando uno hace daño así a un niño, debería ir a prisión. Eso es lo que dice la ley. La ley dice que la sentencia debe ser prisión por crímenes de este nivel de gravedad. Y en este caso le dio probation. Okay. Let me go to you. I haven't called on you yet.
They give Ahmed a hard time.
No, unfortunately, I can't. That has to wait for the trial to come out. Yes, sir.
Given the history that
Lady.
Jake has been obviously charged with previous child abuse cases, has CPS been involved?
It was for a Spanish channel.
Or have they ever checked?
To my knowledge, CPS has not been involved with Emmanuel. I don't believe there was any CPS involvement in this current case. Let me go. I've already called on you. So have I called?
No CPS in this current case.
Called on you already? No, go ahead, please. I can tell you that that's not true. It's there's no confession made in jail. I'll go back there and then I'll come back to you, Rob. Yes.
He says no confession in jail. So either the reporting is wrong or they're not telling that they did an Alford and they don't want that released. one or the other. So, but I'm telling you right now, the DA just said there was no confession.
Go ahead, sir.
Now, wait a second here. I just thought of something. The reporting is wrong. He says that. So, a confession to the an actual confession to the police is one thing. Jake saying in an interrogation room that he confessed is another. Right? He could have told someone in the prison or a police officer pretending to be undercover that, yeah, this happened, and he confessed to him. But you pleading a confession is a whole nother story. I could tell everyone in the jail that I did such and such. I could tell the police officer that I did such and such. But if I'm not pleading guilty, that's a whole different thing. So both can technically be true. Right? Confessions are recorded. Oh, I'm sure it would be recorded even still. But you can say I did it in that recording, but that doesn't mean you're going to plead guilty. You can plead any way you want to. Right? Justin, with him being in jail before he knew that, so he knew that he shouldn't have a cellmate, and so if he confessed, he knew what he was doing, like he knew that wasn't a real inmate. I don't know.
Can you tell us how many kids Jake and Rebecca had were in their home at the time of the arrest? 2-year-old Jake and 12.
Yeah.
With some shared pregnancy. How many kids do they have?
Well, there's the 2-year-old and then baby Emmanuel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back there, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they say he hasn't, but I still haven't seen
a
any.
no-body homicide is always difficult, but obviously with an infant, we know that baby Emmanuel didn't, leave on his own, or is not, didn't leave town. Obviously, it's a little different when you're talking about an infant, but we have a lot of experience in this county trying no-body homicides, and we're confident that we can gain convictions in this case. Yes, ma'am.
What I am getting, what I feel like with Brian's interview, if you believe that, and so far what I'm understanding with him, the feeling that I'm getting is this is going to be a no homicide case, and I don't know if Emmanuel is ever going to be found, which is what really had me upset today. Right? Knowing that little Emmanuel may never, ever be found. Oh, Gia, you're so sweet. Like and subscribe. I'm glad I did, Justin Mods. Thank you, baby. Appreciate you very much. You're so sweet. And that's what really is upsetting to me, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know if there's anything left. Right?
Well,
Yeah,
I think
I
Sheriff
agree,
Dyke has already
January. I
explained that.
agree
He answered that
100%.
question by saying there's been a level of cooperation with
Good to see
the
you, darling.
defendants. So that's why they went to that area. But beyond that, that's all I can say. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think the obvious question is, what happened? And you've been to those reports over the past about his jail.
Yes. Thank you, Hobo Baby. Appreciate you. If you received that membership, please thank our dear Hobo.
Well, see, that's not true. So I don't know where you. Well, no. See, this is what happens when you've got all these folks out there online and these keyboard warriors. You get a lot of misinformation, and what you just said is not true. It's misinformation. So that's what I'll tell you did not happen.
What did he
Okay.
say?
I can't talk about the facts of the case. Well, no, I'm giving you information about baby Emmanuel. I'm giving you information about the cases and the investigation, but what you just said did not happen. So
What did he say? Hold on.
On that, cooperation with the defendants. So that's why they went to that area. But beyond that, that's all I can say. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I think the obvious question is, what happened? And you've been to those reports over the past about his jail contraction reporting fake inmates.
You can't hear.
The father's fast track.
Well, see, that's not true. So I
You
don't know
can't
where
hear.
you. Well, no. See, this is what happens when you've got all these folks out there
thought the same
online
thing,
and
Marie.
these keyboard warriors. You get a lot of misinformation, and what you just said is not true. It's misinformation.
Asking
So
about jail
that's
content.
what I'll tell you did not happen. Okay.
There's no information.
I can't talk about the facts of the case. Well, no, I'm giving you information about baby
Listen,
Emmanuel. I'm
listen.
giving you information about the cases and the investigation, but what you just said did not happen. So, that's not. I can't be responsible for when you guys get it wrong. Go ahead.
Well, he's talking about keyboard warriors and stuff, but that information about the confession didn't come from any of us. That came from someone that works for the media, right?
I know you have not found these remains yet, but based on
You may not want to say it, sir. Maybe it did happen.
so far, is a strong likelihood that remains were at least
Yeah, I'm just not going to comment on that. We're looking for the remains. These investigation is continuing. We're hoping to find the remains of baby Emmanuel. Yeah, please, Sheriff.
This is to that. And
Now, there was a YouTuber that was putting out some misinformation here on YouTube, and a couple articles blasted him today in like the news. Don't think they understand how social media works. Yeah.
to the question before, a problem that we are having in this, basically even on the question that was asked 2 questions ago, is someone posts something on social media and then you all believe that it's true. I actually complimented the mainstream media because you've actually been reaching out to us for comment and actually been printing what we've told you. It hasn't been the sensationalism and the wants for clicks for social media. And that is doing nothing but harming this investigation. And when you form your opinion and come in here and ask questions like that, you're not serving the public in any way. The question way earlier, get some rest. There should be no one out there looking for baby Emmanuel except for us, because all you're going to do is complicate things in the future. And
asked for
the
the
one thing
fucking
that I
public's help.
emphasize that I want to make it clear here, the reason this is happening relatively quickly and the reason why we got such a handle on this fast is I believe that the Inland Empire is served better by their 2 sheriff's offices than any place in the state. And this particular case doubled its efforts. So instead of having 4,500 people looking for baby Emmanuel, you had 9,000. And so how did we get all of this information? It's called investigation. And we have 2 entire departments doing nothing but sifting through evidence, searching for evidence, trying to figure out what happened, who was responsible, and how we're going to successfully prosecute it. And misinformation, lies, and purposeful misdirection is going to do nothing but harm this investigation. And I am begging all of you with cameras out here, don't be a part of it.
Okay. You wasted yours in English? I'll get back to you.
Well, to be fair, you guys, I mean, they only gave one press release, maybe two. This is the first press conference they have done in how many days now?
I'll get back to you. No, I've already called on you. I'll go ahead. I started with you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
And actually, it was for Sheriff Bianco. I just wanted to follow up with you because the way you were talking so passionate about what should never happen is that injury to a child. How does this compare to other things that you've seen? You mentioned broken bones in children. You impact me by the way you said that. So I wanted to know how they.
A lot of them did.
So I have to, cops get a bad rap of being just heartless souls. I will tell you that most police officers are parents, either dads or moms. And there is nothing more traumatic for us to go through than an injury, a death, or harm to a child. Nothing. And there is absolutely nothing that we want more than to bring these investigations to a successful conclusion. And when we talk about why we're here in the first place, that we believe someone.
I mean, I know. Yeah. I mean, yes, you're absolutely right. And there are some that will just report anything, right? And listen, we all at some point get information wrong. And if a YouTuber or a TikToker or a Facebooker says they never get anything wrong, they're lying through their teeth. To me, it's about intent. If you are intending to put misinformation out there willingly and knowingly that it is false after you've been told, that's a whole different ballgame. And also correcting. If you put out something wrong, correct it. Make a video, say it in your live stream, make a community post, something, correct it.
Murdered.
You can go to my community post. You will see so many things on there with rumors about this case, about other cases. And I will put, this is a rumor. This is where the sheriff said it, whatever. So we can tamper down a lot of those things, right? But as humans, we are imperfect. All of us are imperfect, and we all make mistakes, including this law enforcement. So there's that. Hey Jane, hi Justin, and everyone fighting for justice for Emmanuel. I'm so worried about Emmanuel and justice for Jack and Lily. Please, I'll keep fighting. Yes. Yeah. I got a live coming up about Jack and Lily. So to me, it's about intent. Are you intentionally going to, go do a live knowing that something is completely wrong? That's wrong, right?
Baby Emmanuel, who should still be in prison, but we have this unbelievable love for criminals.
Baby Emmanuel should still be in prison? What did he say?
That we want more than to bring these investigations to a successful conclusion. And when we talk about why we're here in the first place, that we believe someone murdered baby Emmanuel, who should still be in prison, but we have this unbelievable love for criminals, believing that they're somehow victims.
I agree.
And now we're all traumatized by it. We were all in this room a couple of years ago when I had a deputy murdered because someone was out on the street that should have been life in prison, but a judge let them go. We have an absolute breakdown of the justice system, and we are not preventing other children from being harmed when someone like Jake is
I
allowed to
agree
be out on the streets
1000%.
harming children. And so the anger that I have, the frustration that I have, then combined with the misinformation and everything else, when for all of us and our employees, there is nothing more important to us than the death of a human, particularly a child.
Absolutely too, Galactic. I agree.
Okay. I'm gonna try to work. I'm going to work the back. Yes, sir. Well, we've got a lot of evidence. We're going to have to play that out in court. I can't lay it out here today. Okay. So yes,
Correct.
right next to him. I don't know if we're going to see the arrest warrant today. So
Hey,
that's a pretty short answer
Maurice,
for Spanish.
tell Mama hello.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, and then I'll come back to you.
This guy's running for governor of California? Really? The sheriff?
I just can't say. I'm not going to give a timeline.
I don't know, Gia.
Obviously, baby Emmanuel, we have a theory as to when his death occurred. So, and then I've also shared that we believe that when the parents came forward, it was to tell the public something that wasn't true. Going which way? Go ahead.
The sheriff of San Bernardino?
There's a lot of witnesses. Investigators are tracking down every lead. I'm not going to focus in on who's a relative and who isn't. There's a lot of witnesses in the case that are shedding light. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, kid. Hey, thank you, honey. Appreciate you. I try my best. I give it all I got.
Right. So I'm not going to say, as Sheriff Bianco just mentioned, when you have members of the public that are out there doing their own searches, all it does is potentially prejudice and damage the case. So please let the sheriff's departments do their job. They know how to do this, right? We're helping with them, anything they need from us, but they are the ones driving this investigation, and they will track down every lead. I have all the confidence in both of these great sheriffs and their great departments. This investigation is ongoing, yes. Yes, ma'am.
In an effort to dispel all of that misinformation that we're seeing on social media, has a plea deal been offered to either Jake or Rebecca? Is that a possibility? And is this a death penalty?
Gia, text me
It's
if you
not a
don't
death penalty
mind.
case.
Make
We
a
did
video
not,
if you
and
can.
we're not able to file special circumstances, and that's what would be required for it to be eligible for the death penalty. This is, we filed 2 counts of homicide, which in this case is murder, against both Jake and Rebecca. So not a death penalty case. What was the other?
Absolutely.
No.
Either one, and is that still a possibility?
No. We're not interested in a plea bargain with these individuals. We're interested in a trial and getting to justice. Yes, sir.
Where are we in terms of representation for these?
Really?
I don't know. That's not something that I have any knowledge of. Going back, yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Funky.
I think you just answered your own question. Of course, this is an investigation. We're searching for evidence. We've got 2 great sheriff's departments doing what they do best. So if there's a chance to find.
So I want to address this. Clutch, what's the difference from LA? I think you mean Terra. On the Terra, independently looking for a manual versus a search and rescue. Well, I mean, so I don't have a problem with people looking personally. But I will say this, and you guys know I love On the Terra. I think he's a great guy. If something is found, I don't think they should be poking sticks or anything like that in like soft dirt or anything like that. Don't touch anything, right? No problem looking, but if you see something, take a marker and mark it and don't touch it. Right? That's the difference. I go look. Fuck, who cares? But don't touch. Do not touch it. Don't go over there and start kicking stuff and putting sticks in it and all of that. Leave it alone. Mark the area. Take some pictures. Send it in. Take your coordinates and leave it alone. Right? That's the thing. Just don't. That's when you can really fuck something up. Truly. Thank you, Jane. You are kind, caring, loving, caring with the heart. So works hard. Aw, thank you so much, honey. I appreciate you, Miss Jane. Thank you, darling. Yeah, mark it. Move on. Take your coordinates. Exactly where you're standing. And that's right. And that's when it's a problem, right? You contaminate that evidence. It's like not even you can't use it. Can't use it. So that's when you can really mess up a case. If it is contaminated, and it is so fucking easy to contaminate, and it will be thrown out. And that is what's doing an injustice. That's what's doing injustice. Where's Mark at? I wonder where Mark is at today. Haven't seen him. So yeah.
Find baby Emmanuel's remains. These men and women of these two agencies will do it. Yes, sir. Estamos aquí porque estamos acusando formalmente a Jake Rebecca Haro de homicidio y de presentar un reporte falso a la policía. Los padres del bebé de 7 meses permanecen detenidos bajo una fianza de $1 millón. Y más de eso no puedo comentar porque no puedo hablar sobre la evidencia en el caso porque eso tiene que suceder en un tribunal, en corte.
Yeah, supposedly they were seen at Costco on the 10th.
No puedo comentar. No, dije que sí, estamos convencidos que el bebé fue abusado por un periodo de tiempo, o sea, tiene 7 meses, o sea, sobre su vida de 7 meses, que fue abusado sobre tiempo. Yes, sir.
What? I know they broke in. And that's what I was saying the other day. Don't go in that fucking house. That is a crime scene. You are fucking lunatic if you are going in that house. Like, if you really care for Emmanuel, if you really care, you're not going to go in there. In situations like that, and let me tell you something, when you're on the ground, it's a different story. I've been on the ground many, many times. And your emotions is 10 times as heightened. But you cannot let your emotions or your curiosity go into a crime scene, right? You just can't break in someplace that's not yours. It doesn't matter if it's Rebecca's or Jake's or the landlord's. You cannot go in there.
Just for clarification, maybe sheriff's department, not sheriff. The there was a call for service that was generated by Jake that we investigated concerning a child abuse case. And that's all I can give you on that.
You're not talking
and it
about
was in
old
Marin
girl.
Valley. No, not at this time.
No politics. I didn't see it, but someone's.
I think we've answered that already. If you are not getting information from his office or my office, you are doing our public an unbelievable disservice.
Okay, so so if we call the sheriff's office or the DA's office and we ask for an update, are you going to give us an update? That's my question. I mean, nobody's asking you to give us, private information or anything like that, but are you going to give us an update? Joe, no politics. If you're doing politics, no politics.
We don't care what someone posts on social media. And if you all are going to believe that and then generate questions based on those comments, we're not going to get anywhere in this. If it did not come from our two agencies, stop believing it. That's all I can tell you.
Spray Joe, guys.
Son responsables de la muerte de su bebé por la evidencia que ya tenemos. Y es cierto que no tenemos el cuerpo del bebé, pero tenemos bastante evidencia y nosotros estamos convencidos que fueron responsables del homicidio de su hijo. All right, going forward, where am I? Did you have another question? Go ahead.
This is for Sheriff Bianco. When you guys were on the 6th Freeway in the Badlands area searching, we did notice that Jake was out there with the Sheriff's Department. Was Jake trying to cooperate at any time with the Sheriff during that search?
So we've answered that question, sir. That was Sheriff Dykes that answered that question of why they were out there. He said
damn.
that there was some level of
can't wait to show
cooperation
y'all
with the
this.
defendants, and that's all we can say. Yep, that's all we can say. Yes, ma'am.
Do you feel because
Oh,
the baby was 7 months
I'm going to show
apart,
y'all this.
died 470
This is bad.
Do you feel that there are people that
Love
the
you
baby
too,
down?
Jenny.
Not only that judge who let Jake
Love you,
go,
darling. Thank you so
but
much.
7 months of child abuse or several months of child abuse.
Stroller's not on the porch. Where's it at now? It was the other day.
Possibly by not reporting what they were seeing, what they thought was happening.
Well, certainly this baby was
I'm
failed
going to
by
show you something
his
about
parents.
that in a second, Betty.
So that's first and foremost. So yes, beyond that, I can't comment. But yes, everybody failed this baby that was close to him. Yes. Yeah. So I can't comment on the evidence in this case, but what I can tell you is that modern homicide investigations are very tech heavy. And we have two very modern, cutting edge sheriff's departments in Riverside County and in San Bernardino County. And so, yes, what you mentioned was the high tech crimes unit of the San Bernardino DA's office, their Bureau of Investigation. They assisted. And beyond that, I can't say what they found. That can't get into the evidence. But yeah, this case is going to be built on, like almost all homicide cases now, electronic, digital evidence. It all comes into play. Go ahead.
Did the family ever seek medical attention for baby Emmanuel since he was born the day?
He didn't like him.
I can't comment on that. Sorry.
I'm going to show you.
What's next is
God.
First and
Well-
foremost, the investigation will continue, and it's led by the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, and then also Riverside County Sheriff's Department assisting, and then the prosecution will begin. We've filed the case. The case will begin to work its way through the criminal justice system here in Riverside County. Other folks, yes, we're coming to the end here, I think. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, my friend. Really do appreciate your
Not at
support.
this time. No, we're not looking at anybody else. We believe that this is the filings in court that will be in this case. Now that could change if new evidence comes in. Yes, sir. I'm not aware of a house fire next door. So, yes, sir. I'm not going to comment. Sorry, I can't talk about that. Anything else?
Las acusaciones ahorita son asesinato malísimo, doloso. En español, de encontrar el cadáver y otra evidencia, pudiera cambiar a que usted presentara cargos de asesinato con circunstancias especiales
Sí.
que acreditaran la pena de muerte para esta pareja.
Sí, podría cambiar si encontramos más evidencia y la situación cambia, los cargos pueden cambiar. Anything else? I think we're closing up here. Anybody have any last questions? Yes, go ahead. Do you know when? September 4th. The court day will be September 4th. All right. Thank you all for coming.
Okay, so there it is. There it is. That is the press conference. Now, thank you again very much, Jeff. Really do appreciate your support, my friend. All right, so I want to show you. Someone just sent this to me. Again, I don't want to make this political or anything, but I do want to show you this. The sheriff, this is from cjcj.org. The sheriff with California's worst crime solving record is running for governor. Chad Bianco's Riverside County Sheriff's Department ranks dead last in solving crime. Meanwhile, his jail has been seeing rising violence and death. During Bianco's first 6 years in office, 2019 to 2024, Riverside Sheriff deputies cleared an average of just 9.2% of reported Part 1 crimes, less than half the state's average, and among the 57 sheriffs with arrest authority, figure 1. Meanwhile, the county saw rising violence crimes in area patrolled by Bianco's department and experienced 17% of California's jail homicides. That one county, 17%. Despite housing only 6% of the state's jailed population. Damn. In 2022 alone, 18 people died in Riverside custody, the highest number in 15 years, with at least 5 deaths attributed to fentanyl overdoses and other linked to inadequate emergency responses, BSCC 2023 reported. The same year, a deputy was arrested on suspicion of smuggling narcotics into a county jail, underscoring the department's failure to control contraband. That is from the CADOJ 2025, California Department of Justice. Wow. Riverside. Here's the graph of all the counties in California. Riverside. Third one is Sacramento. The department's budget is 24% above the state average per resident. Bianco can't plead lack of resources. The Riverside County Sheriff's Department budget per county resident is $243, is 24% above the average of the other 56 sheriffs, $195 per resident. and 29% higher per sheriff jurisdiction resident, $1,498 versus $1,163 of the other sheriffs, and that is by the Controller 2024 reporting. Yet the Riverside Sheriff's Department ranks 6th worst among 57 sheriffs in solving violent crime, 5th worst in solving property crimes, and last in solving all major Part 1 offenses. In contrast, the San Bernardino sheriffs next door cleared nearly 3 times proportion of Part 1 offense, 26.1% in 2019, 24 including 58.6% of violent compared to 41.4 in Riverside and 10.1 in property crimes compared to 4.4 in Riverside. Wow. That's crazy. Conclusion. Listen to this. Talking tough about crime is not the same as fighting it. In today's post-reform Riverside County law enforcement has more money and just half as many crimes to solve. Yet nowhere is, quote, crime more legal, end quote, than Sheriff Bianco's jurisdiction. It is hard to take seriously Bianco's promise to improve public safety or his complaint that California streets are less safe. Government is failing. He said it in this live press conference. Drug abuse is more rampant, and crimes occur without quote, without consequences. When there's ills are nowhere more true than his own bailiwick. Given Bianco's worst in the state record at protecting Riverside residents for crime, why would voters trust him with the governmentship? And it's got all of the sources right here. I will share that link for you in chat. And I will also drop it in my description for the replay crew. Okay. All right. Now, moving forward. So now we're going to finish the Brian Enton, what he was talking about earlier. Now, link is provided in the description and also in the chat. Again, the press conference, they said that there was not any sort of confession, right? I don't have Ahmed's phone number, but if someone's got his phone number or email address, text it to me and I'll send it to him. I want to ask him to come on the show. Oh, thank you, Angel, baby. Love your passion. You are the best. Love you. I love you, little angel. You are so sweet. I just love you. Thank you so much, my dear. National news stations put out the story about the inmate in the confession. I wonder how they're going to walk that back. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Good question. Good question. All right. I mean, I support law enforcement. I've always supported law enforcement. Good law enforcement. You know, they need to have, some need to have a better working, in my opinion, with the public, especially their constituents. So there's that. So we'll see.
Jail, and she is standing by her story that baby Emmanuel was kidnapped. That is also, you'll remember what she told a reporter who she talked to in jail. So many tragic twists and turns in this case. My big concern right now is that if this story is true, that police allegedly found out about through this Perkins operation, that he killed baby Emmanuel and put him into a trash can, and that
So, and again, Brian is not saying that it's true. He said if it's true, right? So he's not reporting that it's true. He's asking the question
may have
about
been up
this.
to I start with this new reporting.
Who is this?
Will they ever actually find baby Emmanuel? I'm joined now by Kim Dagonia, a former Riverside County prosecutor. Thank you for joining.
Well, this is interesting because he has a really good source here. Right. He does have a very good source here, and that is a former Riverside County prosecutor also speaking on this. So, like I said earlier, I think both things can be true. I think he could have told someone in the jail and perhaps confessed to certain things or told certain things, but that doesn't mean he's pleading guilty. It doesn't mean he confessed to the cops a formal confession. So both can be true, in my opinion, at least. Hedge, good to see you, honey. Thank you so very much. Thank you, my friend. How many hedgehogs do you have? They're so stinking cute. I used to want a hedgehog.
Me again, Kim. I want to start with this new reporting that we have, that Jake confessed to police that he rolled over the baby, killed the baby, and then buried the baby. But apparently, that story was not true, right?
Yes, that is correct. My inside.
Now, this might be something Jake, I mean, if he does admit to it, or if he did, which again, I want to make it very clear that the DA said he has not. But if he ever admits it, or again, if he did, then he's going to make an excuse, right? Such as rolling on the baby.
Sources are telling me that was absolutely a lie. He made that all up to the police in order to, I guess, garner some type of sympathy, garner some type of a linear charge or sentence, but he made up this entire fabricated story that he was asleep with the baby Emmanuel, that he rolled over onto baby Emmanuel. When he woke up, he realized the baby was dead and he panicked. And so he went out to the Gilman Springs area that we saw him with the police the other day, and he buried the body because he wanted to have the opportunity to go back.
Now, listen, how does someone roll on a 20-some pound 7-month-old? And first of all, you shouldn't be sleeping with the infants like that if you're a hard sleeper like that. So there's that. But it was,
and mourn his son's death and visit him. That was his story.
But again, with him out there the other day, that is some degree of cooperation, right? He is cooperating to some degree. And just because he was out there doesn't mean he confessed, which people were reporting that he had confessed. And I was like, guys, I've not seen that anywhere. So, but he had to have been out there on his own accord.
To go back and mourn his son's death and visit him. That was his story. That's why he was out there in his chains and his shackles, allegedly trying to lead the police to the body that was never there.
Okay.
It was just
and the reason that we know that this is allegedly made up is because of this reporting that we have that he spoke to someone who he thought was an inmate in the jail, but it was actually...
Absolutely. That's a very good point. Very good point, Lady Gracious. He could if he was passed out or drinking or on any rugs. That is absolutely true. But again, he has a violent tendency in his past, right? Is it possible? Yes. But in my opinion, it's not probable because of his past. He gets a temper, and in my opinion, he abuses them.
Is known as, is it a Perkins operation? So it's actually a police officer who he admitted to actually killing the baby. First of all, can you explain what a Perkins operation is?
Sure. We don't know if the person who was undercover was a police officer, if it's another, run of the mill citizen of the community that was acting as an undercover inmate. We just know there was another body in the jail cell pretending to be an inmate in the same inmate clothes as Jake Haro, shackled in the same manner in which Jake Haro is. And they begin to ask questions while being recorded to Jake specifically about the charges and why he's in there, in hopes that he will admit whatever really happened to baby Emmanuel to these fake inmates in custody. And it's called a Perkins operation. These types of investigative tools have been going on for decades in agencies and district attorneys' offices across California. It's a very standard and typical investigative tool that you see the sheriff's department use in many different cities and counties across California.
Is it controversial at all doing that?
Yeah, it's been very controversial. I think Orange County District Attorney's Office was at the center of a lot of the controversy a few years ago. From that came a much tighter rein on how these are conducted. The Riverside District Attorney's Office, from my understanding and my experience, has gone to great lengths along with the Sheriff's Department to make sure that they are following and articulating the legal analysis and following the law as they conduct these operations. It's very specific, and in my experience, they follow the law in using this tool as an investigative means.
You're not alone. You're not alone. You pronounce it Lysa. Is that how you pronounce it? So a lot of people think that she more likely did it. I don't personally, but I think it's more Jake. But I think she is equally as bad, because I think she plotted and planned and allowed him to do the horrible, awful things that
to get a confession out of
he's done.
Many defendants over the years.
So this was a fake inmate who
even the DA thinks Emmanuel suffered long-time abuse. I mean, look at Jake's past, right? The 10-week-old baby that he harmed, again, healing ribs means this isn't the first time that he had harmed that baby, 10 weeks old. I agree, acting badly personally. I agree.
He told,
and it's just, and for that matter, men are more likely to do violent crime than women. Not saying women don't do violent crime, they do every single day, but men, we have more testosterone, and that changes our behavior.
Reportedly that he killed baby Emmanuel and then put baby Emmanuel into a trash can. I'm just thinking about waste management and all the trash cans and the landfill. I mean, it sounds like this could be very difficult in terms of finding his remains.
Yes, that's the sad part of all of this. That is correct. He did confess to these, we will call them fake inmates, that he did kill baby Emmanuel and that he threw him in the trash can at his home approximately a week before.
Globally, 90% of homicides come from men. 9 out of 10 times globally. I mean, that's, there's different things that cause it, but the main factor is testosterone, social conditioning, knowing that men are more
Rebecca
powerful.
Haro even stated that the baby was missing. So baby Emmanuel's been missing for quite some time. And as a result, Waste Management, from my understanding, has told the sheriff's department it would be nearly impossible to determine which Waste Management truck took the trash, which bin it was in, and which landfill this particular trash can would have gone to, making it almost impossible that we will ever find baby Emmanuel's body.
Now, didn't the DA, didn't they speak on that? Did they say they have an idea of where Emmanuel was at the Neanderthal? Yeah. And I am more Neanderthal than most of the US population. I'm like 4 or 6%. I can't remember. I need to look at my 23andMe. But I'm more caveman than most. I think it's where I got my forehead from. He thinks he knows where Emmanuel is. Yeah. Which I think that, in my opinion, like I have said from day one on this case, day one, that I believe that they put him in the trash or in the drain. And I still think even if it's the drain, some of it went in the trash. Because these two aren't going, in my opinion, they might have, but I don't think that they're going to go climb a mountain and dig a grave and put that much energy into it. I think they are as lazy and cold as they get. So I think he went in a dumpster or the drain.
That's awful to think about.
It really is.
Terrible.
It really is.
So this
They're talking here, that it just doesn't sound like he's going to be found.
Perkins operation with the fake inmate happened. Did that happen after, I'm assuming, the
Quentin was found in a landfill. I was down there through all of that. I was at the landfill. I was at the house. I was at the sheriff's department. I was at the jail. I was all of that. And they had the mother, Leilani, who is a murderer, who's been charged with killing Quentin. They had the time, all of that, whenever she committed the crime. They had her on camera. It just so happened that the trash truck that ran in that trailer park, that was the last stop he did before he went to the landfill. Very last stop. Now, a landfill is actually very organized. Which section that the trash was dumped in and all that. So, but they have to know if he was dumped, where he was dumped, the time, the date, all of that. And if they don't have that, they're not going to find him. And actually, just about, I think, 3 or 5% of landfill searches are successful. Now, they found Quentin. They also found, we did a case recently of a young boy who was killed by his father. It was, in my opinion, it was a God thing. whenever the dad killed the child, threw him in the landfill or in a dumpster, but with his cell phone. And the cell phone, while they were dumping the landfill, the trash truck into the landfill, it pushes, there's hydraulics and all that. The cell phone came on while it was at the landfill. It came on for 3 minutes. Manny, yeah. Manny. And that is how they got the ping at the landfill. That was a God thing, if there ever was. And that's how they knew his phone was at the landfill. And most probably, so was Manny.
After he lied to the lied and said that he buried the body?
Yes.
Okay. So that was really just a wild goose chase out there.
It was 100% a wild goose chase, from my understanding.
Wow, that's got to be frustrating for law enforcement.
Oh, for sure. And it goes to show you Jake Haro's mental status, right? The level that he will go to not only kill an infant, but the great lengths he will go to cover it up and create this fabricated lie. Such a fabricated lie that he allowed investigators to participate in something that's not ordinarily done, which is basically taking a field trip out to a fake crime scene. I mean, he created all of that in his mind, knowing it was a lie, knowing it was fake, and lived out the entire lie for the next 24 hours with law enforcement. That's pretty intense.
Yeah,
it just shows the level that you're dealing with.
I'm thinking back to his story. He said that he was mourning his son, so he buried him. Like, how does that make any sense?
Right. He claims that from what I understand, he buried the body close to his home so that he could go back and visit, almost like a gravesite, because he never planned on telling anybody the baby was dead.
But that was all made up.
Yes.
Okay. And then we've also reported that Rebecca Haro, that there was also a Perkins operation with her. So a fake female prisoner, and that she has been sticking to her original story, which is similar to what she said to the reporter for the newspaper who got through to her, that, you know, that there was this, essentially this kidnapping, and that they don't know what happened. It's kind of interesting that that she's sticking to the original story, and it sounds like he's, you know, not.
Right. That's my understanding. She is sticking to this story that somebody stole her baby and she wants him to be brought home.
What do you
listen? All of the news right now, all of them, News Nation, New York Post, all of them, they all right now are reporting the report. Emmanuel Haro's dad admits killing him, sources. I'm gonna show you that in a minute.
What do you make of that she's still sticking to the story?
I don't know. I was not there to watch the Perkins operation or to watch any of her interviews, but my best guess would be there's probably something mentally off with Rebecca Haro. I wouldn't be surprised if in the future months we see some type of mental health diversion paperwork being filed on her, domestic violence assertions that Jake inflicted upon her.
Very common.
I don't think we're done with hearing the backstory behind Rebecca. I don't. I think there's more to come.
Do you think she's trying to cover for him?
She's gonna throw her under the bus.
I'm not sure at this point if it's trying to cover for him or if it's a cycle of abuse where she's afraid. I don't know if there's maybe some cognitive lowered intelligence that she's, you know, just repeating what she's been told. But like I said, again, I don't think we're done hearing the backstory to Rebecca. I think there's more there.
With these Perkins operations, since you have been a part of many before in your past, do they record them, or how do they work? Like, how do they go down? How do they find the people? I'm sort of fascinated by it. I'd never heard of it before. How do they find the people to do this? Do they record them? Like, kind of walk me through the whole process.
And when you say I've been part of them, I don't actually go to the jail and watch them. There's a DA designated for that. That's his sole job. And it's in order, again, to protect the privacy and to make sure that the standard legal procedures are being followed. So there is one deputy district attorney designated to that unit, which is a great thing that the Riverside DA's office has done to preserve the integrity of this type of investigation. So what happens is that particular assigned DA goes to the jail, watches the entire interaction go on between the inmates, the fake inmates, the actual defendant, and the actual detectives. It's being recorded the entire time. There's cameras in the jail cell. There's cameras on the what we're calling fake inmates. And it's all above board. Everybody can listen to it later on, watch it, see it. There's nothing hidden once it's done. It's turned over to defense, and it's routinely used as evidence in jury trials, the recordings from these operations.
It's kind of interesting that Jake Haro wasn't suspicious that maybe that was what was happening when he was talking to this other person.
It's kind of interesting that this seems to happen all the time. The inmates really
I gotta
don't
show y'all
become
something. Oh
suspicious.
my God.
They just verbal vomit everything to these inmates. I don't know if it's, to garner some type of strategy in.
So if you want to watch the rest of that, link is provided in the description and in chat. I want to show you this. Oh my God, poor baby. Fucking hate these two. Look at this.
I know where.
Look at little Emmanuel. I'm gonna make it bigger for you. Look at that. Such a little cutie. Look at him right there. Look at that. Oh my God. Is it not, Sherry? I think that's him. Someone did it with AI. Seriously, these fucking people. Let me see if it's AI. Let me take a screenshot and ask AI if this is AI. How do I take a screenshot? Okay. Is this AI? Is this an AI photo? Let's see. This looks like a real baby photo, not AI generated. A few reasons why. Skin texture and lighting. The skin has natural highlights and shadows, not the overly smooth or plastic look seen in AI images. Hair detail. The curls and stray hair looks very natural. AI often struggles with realistic hair flow. Background and blanket. The tiger pattern blanket has consistent texture and depth. AI generators often create warped or inconsistent fabric patterns. Expression and teeth. The baby's smile and slight asymmetry in the cheeks. Eyes, hands reaching forward are very typical in real candid photos, where AI tend to make people's more perfectly symmetrical. So I think he was okay until Jake's abuse. What's wrong with Sheila? Is she okay? All right, I want to show you this as well. Yeah, I think it's him. I do. I think it might be there might be a filter on it, was why it looks a little.
Out of the press conference here today, most tragically, law enforcement says baby Emmanuel was severely abused throughout his short life, and because of those injuries,
my email I just put up right here. It's right here. All justice, the number 4, the letter U @gmail.com, or you can text me 307-228-4906.
died sometime between August 5th and August 14th. That is, of course, the date of the reported kidnapping claim from outside of a sporting goods store. Law enforcement says they quickly determined that the Haro's claims were suspicious. Today we heard.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. They got rid of even the baby's photos and all of that in the house. Like, they wanted. I mean, what do they think is going to happen whenever they say that their child was abducted? Of course, they're going to go to your house. And if you don't have any photos or clothing of the baby, that's going to be a little sus, don't you think? Hello. Wonder why they just didn't want to be reminded, in my opinion. Okay, someone just said, Justin, those pictures are not Emmanuel. A lady posted those saying her baby looks like Emmanuel, and people are reporting them saying it is Emmanuel. Wow. Oh, she did? Oh, Nancy did a live or a video on baby Emmanuel. Someone just messaged me that. God, these people, I'm telling you. Father. Yeah, but this is what I was going to show you right here. Wait a second. So, news is reporting this still. Look.
Fabricated the story.
Parents of 7-month-old Emmanuel Haro charged with unaliving. Emmanuel Haro father admitted to jail informant that he killed baby. Report. So whenever you see report or reportedly in the news, let me just tell you something. It's the same thing as saying allegedly, or it might be true. It might not.
About their baby's kidnapping and say the little boy is presumed dead. KTLA's Jillian Smuckler live at the courthouse with today's proceedings. Jillian.
Hi, guys. Yeah, so the parents charged with murdering their 7-month-old baby, they appeared in court for the first time today. And this is new court documents are giving us some insight into when investigators believe Emmanuel Haro could have been killed. They say that could have happened 9 days before his mother reported him missing. And that's sparking new concerns tonight as that search for baby Emmanuel continues. An eventful day in Riverside as Rebecca and Jake Haro make their first appearance in court. The couple is charged with killing their 7-month-old baby, Emmanuel, and filing a false police report. These charges carry a minimum sentence of life in prison without the possibility of parole. But KTLA legal analyst Allison Treasel says the murder with malice charge makes the couple eligible for the death penalty.
And I hope that they get it. I really do. Guys, I am going to come back here in just a few minutes. I'm trying to keep my live streams under 2 hours per thing. So I will be back here in just a few minutes. Yeah, she's good. She was here yesterday with us on the live. So I'll be back in just a couple minutes. We're going to be live again about Emmanuel and another case as well. Okay, I'm going to show some Nancy Grace as well. Love you guys. Appreciate you very much. I just got to keep it under 2 hours. So we're 1 hour, 59 minutes and 7 seconds right now. Love you guys. Bye-bye.